Hi guys, welcome to my video of most trustworthy mass market decks. Mass market decks can sometimes be considered beginner or basic, but to my experience, I feel that a lot of them are really great readers and they stand the test of time, and I keep going to them over and over again. So I thought I'd share some of my trustworthy decks. Today, the incense I'm using is white tea and sage, which I love, and let's get on with it. This is one of my favorite scents. So the first deck I have for you is the Maiden Tarot. I haven't seen a lot of this deck being spoken about on YouTube, maybe because it's old, but I keep reaching out to it. I think it's a beautiful reader and it's definitely quite accurate and trustworthy. But what I love about it is it's also very beginner friendly. It's an RWS clone and it has a really chunky guidebook, as you can see. But look at that gilding. Look at that blue gilding. It's really nice, no? I like that. But it's also a very gentle reader, and it's a really nice deck to sit with in the evenings. It has that vibe to it, but it's like it's got the eyes closed, so it makes you feel very calm. But all the readings I've always got from it has been crazily accurate and also very encouraging, if I may use that word. So when I am feeling a little bit out of sorts, I reach out to this deck. And this is why I have made this curation of decks, because no matter how many new decks come into my collection, I keep going back to these. So they definitely deserve a video on my channel. Like this one's so pretty. Let me let me hold it so it's easier and faster. And it's got this red blue thing happening. It's very, very nighttime reading. Like look at that Wheel of Fortune. It's so nice. That Five of Pentacles, I always talk about the Five of Pentacles card in all tarot. It has the sense and the nuance of the card and the meaning, but it's still quite calm and not triggering. And this is why I really like same with Two of Swords. This is why, and the High Priestess is so pretty. It's a very pretty deck, but it's also a very, very accurate deck. So definitely something I trust a lot. The Tower here is not breaking down. People are not falling off it, you know. The Nine of Pentacles. So it's not triggering, or it's not let's crash and burn on the negative side, neither is it on the positive side. It's a very balanced deck. So that's the Star Maiden Tarot. Now let's move on to our next deck. Yes, the Curious Travels Tarot deck. This one I have seen a lot on TarotTube because, of course, I can understand, why it would be such a big favorite, because it is also an exceptional reader. It's definitely a deck that is going to have a place in your collection forever. For a mass market deck, it is very well made. Like the gold foiling that is subtle and not on your face. Sorry, my incense needs to turn. It's blowing in my face. And it has animal and human, plus the art is not super gentle, neither is it one particular type. There is something about this deck which makes it a really good reader. The energetic impression of this deck is really good. And I think I'd seen the Lover's card when I bought it. And I am not disappointed that it is such a good reader, for the fact that it is also such a well made deck. Like sometimes a deck would be really nice aesthetically, but would not be the best reader. And then it's really disappointing, right? But this one, like the gold foiling details are just amazing. This one, for someone like me who is not only nature and only human, I want something in between. Decks like this are perfect, and yet it's the subtle watercolors, the the foiling, everything brings together a nice happy energy, but not on your face, so really, really good reader, really good energy. Look at that High Priestess, very different, And you can almost feel the veil sort of, slowly getting unveiled, that the access to that intuition. Or the Two of Cups here are two snakes, which is really like how each of these cards have been thought of and designed, I think is very interesting. Like the world does not just have a nude woman facing you, but it has someone, on this. I don't know what these are called actually. I forgot, but it almost has this circus performer in perfect balance. So it captures that nuance of the card, but it's done very artistically. Is that even a word, artistically? I don't think so. But yeah, it's beautiful art. The blues just flow, and so do the reds. It has this blue, red, and gold feel to it, which is incredible and crazy accurate reader, guys. So this is the extra card, the Travelers. It's quite nice. It's done really well. And in a lot of times, I don't find use of extra cards, but here, you're able to, because being a traveler across dimensions, across your life, across other people's lives, it just other people traveling through your life. You have many nuances around this card. So it really fits in with your normal cards, which I really like. The Hermit card is just incredible. It shows almost the shadow side of it. Um, love it. So this is the Curious Travels tarot deck. I think it's fairly new. I think it came out in 2024. So a lot of you may have it or may not, but definitely a deck to get, because it's one of those that you will keep reaching out to, because you'd be like, wow, that reading really resonated with me. And now it makes sense. That's how it is, right, with tarot. The next deck we have is a blunt reader, but an accurate one. Influence of the Angels Tarot. Guys, this one, I like to call it my elder deck. I have these elder decks. The decks that are going to tell you the truth are going to be blunt AF and still accurate. So you will listen to them. And I can't believe it's mass market, because it's also so well done, honestly. And I just feel like enough people don't talk about this deck. It is just such an incredible reader. Of course, the art is incredible. I wouldn't even mod this deck. The borders add to the art. And I like descriptive decks, because as an intuitive reader, I can take a lot more out of a deck when it is very descriptive, and when it is done, in a way where it's not just the art, but you have these angels that kind of add to it and add a nuance or a layer in meaning. But this deck has given me readings where I'm like, but I don't know, that's not true. But I know in my heart it is. And it is just bringing it to the table and saying, I see it, I see, and you can see it, but you are not accepting it. And those are the kind of truth tellings this deck does, which is why I really like it. And it had to make into this collection, into this curation of mine. I've gotten into the deck when there are all these reversals sitting there. And it goes with a lot of oracles. It is not something that you will have difficulty pairing. It pairs with everything almost. And it has this sense of, sit down, I will tell you things that you need to hear, not always what you want to hear. So I really like this deck. Sometimes I'm like reaching out to it just because I need that pill of truth. So this is the Influence of the Angels Tarot. And yes, it's an old deck, but it's a crazy accurate one. If you guys do have these decks, most of the decks I'm showing today are quite popular, and I'm sure you have them. Let me know if they speak to you this loudly and what you feel about them, please. I'd really like to know. The next deck I have spoken about 50 times on this channel, and it's the Unveiled Tarot. This one, I mean, come on. It's mass market gold. It is the deck that is 100% going to become a classic. 20 years from now, people will still be buying this, because this one has incredible energy about it. And it is very, very accurate, guys. It is a deck you could study for hours. It is a deck that is modern and artistic, both at the same time. And a deck that stands as a testament to our times, You have the world card where you have the skyscrapers, and I've spoken about this in my walkthrough. This is one of those decks that I had to do a walkthrough on just for myself because I just thought it was such an incredible, nuanced deck full of meaning and layers of meaning. But most definitely, on days that I am like, I need a reading that I know is going to be what I need to hear or be accurate, I see myself reaching for this one. Like you feel the anxiety of a tower breaking, but you don't see it breaking. And I like that. Like, I think this deck has captured lived human experiences really well and then translated it onto the art of it. That was my cat in the background, in case you heard him. And this is why anybody could connect with it. I don't think it's a young deck or a modern deck or anything like that. Like I did Influence of the Angels and now I'm showing Unveiled because when it comes to readings that speak to you, the art is only one of the factors. The bigger factor is the energetic impression of that deck or the energy of that deck that it holds and the energy it fuses into you and the energy you fuse into it. This deck for me is very relatable, but I have seen everyone speak about it also as a very powerful reader. So I know that it has its own energy that is very easily read and connects with other readers. So this is the Unveiled Tarot. And the last deck I have, which has not left my bedside for months now, because somehow I have to do one pull from it, is the Tarot of the Abyss, one of my all-time favorite decks. Where do I even begin about this deck? It is so great. I mean, I've shown this on my channel. I keep bringing it on because, and yes, it is exactly everything. It is legendary, right? It is a legendary tarot deck. Everyone speaks about it, and there's a reason for it. The best part is when I saw the cover of this deck, I expected it to be very harsh. I expected it to be blunt. I expected it to be everything that Influence of the Angels is, but it's none of those things. It's actually really, really gentle. I was really surprised with how gentle this deck is, and yet it's obviously my significator of this deck is the Nine of Pentacles, but the energy of this deck is, oh, there's my significator. I love it. I love her. The energy of this deck, you would think, oh, for shadow work, for finding truths about yourself, but actually it is extremely gentle, even with cards like this. And it's crazily accurate. It always like this Justice card with the hair and the woman and the scales in her eyes. It just speaks in layers and myths and poetry. It's a very poetic deck. And I've not taken out the extra renditions of the Ten of Swords and the Three of Swords because I feel it adds value. Like, I don't know if you passed by the Ten of Swords, the other one, but I feel depending on the reading, it adds value. Sometimes I pull that one and I'm like, okay, I understand. Like even the Tower is just incredible. I get it why it's so legendary. Like the Seven of Cups has so much in the clouds, not just the castle. It's such a castles in the air feeling. But this deck gives very accurate readings. It's extremely, I love that the Four of Wands is not showing a wedding but is showing a birthday, and it's so much about celebrating yourself, and just in those ways that it speaks, it has always given me very gentle readings. It's a deck that has never, I don't read it with it during the day, I don't know why. But it sits on my nightstand and I'm always reading with it. I love that. During the night, and it also pairs crazily with anything and everything. If you don't just do visual pairings, energetically, it will speak to most of your oracle decks. Sometimes I really cannot believe these are mass market decks that are so affordable and easily available. Why do I? Yeah, okay. Just incredible. So these are all the decks that I find as crazy accurate readers. Tell me which of, I'm guessing some of these, most of these you'd have. Tell me which of these you feel like are accurate readers for you. Yeah, waiting to hear about your own experiences with them in the comments. Bye.